If you need to manage user data for multiple users, Recognize's Spreadsheet import can be a convenient way to add users, update email addresses, and update user information, such as display name, team, roles, manager, and anniversary designations. This spreadsheet can be imported directly from within Recognize by a company admin. You'll start by going up to the menu in the top right corner of your screen. You'll select Company Admin from the drop-down to take you to the Company Admin portal. From here, you'll select the Users tab on the left menu. You'll notice a right tertiary menu that has the option for Import. You'll select the Import option, which will take you to the Spreadsheet Import page. You'll want to follow the steps outlined here. The first step is going to be to download our sample spreadsheet and fill in your user data. Here's what that spreadsheet looks like. Some general rules to keep in mind with spreadsheet imports. Each account has a main identifier. If an employee ID is present, that will be the main identifier, and the email address will be the secondary identifier. If there is no employee ID present, the user's email address will then be the main identifier. If you are not going to be using employee ID or email, the account must be linked to a phone number for the employee. This then becomes the unique identifier. Because an employee ID serves as the main identifier, when a new employee ID is included in an import, our system thinks that a new account is being created. An exception to this is that we will first check to see if there is a matching account based upon the user's email address that doesn't have an employee ID present, in which case we'll update that employee record to have the employee ID that you've uploaded. An employee ID, email address, and phone number can only exist once in a company's Recognize account. If an account already has an employee ID present and you need to edit that, it cannot be updated in a spreadsheet upload until it has been cleared on our backend by our engineering team. A couple of things to note about the employee ID column. We do highly recommend using the employee ID option if possible. The email or the phone number are required in order to create new accounts, as well as the first and last name of employees. If you're using an email address for employees, then the phone number then becomes optional. You'll notice that all other columns are labeled as optional as well. So any columns that you aren't going to be using, you'll want to remove entirely from the spreadsheet. This is because when you upload a spreadsheet, any information that is included, including columns, will override existing data in the system. You'll also notice that there's start date and birthday information in here if you'd like to include those for your birthday and anniversary recognitions. Be sure to match the formatting on the spreadsheet. If you're including manager emails to designate managers for employees, these managers must also be users in Recognize. Lastly, if you'd like to include locale codes for languages in Recognize, just make sure you reference our locale requirement. This information can be located in the Imports page on the Requirements box. Once you've filled in the sample spreadsheet with your data, you can then save the spreadsheet to your device and upload it in step 2. There are also additional options underneath if you'd like to update attributes of users in the datasheet who are found in Recognize. Where new users are found in the datasheet, they will not be added. You can disable users as well. So that means that when you update attributes of users in the datasheet, you will also disable users who are not present in the datasheet. Step 3 allows you to do a dry run, which means that you can upload your datasheet and get a report of any potential changes without actually making those changes. And then you can also send invitations to new users. We recommend using this option only if you've already launched your programs. Once you're ready, select the Import button. Your import will then be queued and processed in the background. You can stay on the page to watch the progress, or you can leave the page and the import will continue in the background. You'll be emailed when it's completed. If there are any errors, a spreadsheet will be created with the results. This spreadsheet is accessible from the completion email as well as from the last import section on the spreadsheet import page. You can either view a summary there or download the results. You'll also be able to see when your last import was completed and by what method. If you do receive an error report and you need to decipher what the error means, you can see our spreadsheet import step-by-step instructions in our Help Center up in the main menu. If you're using the spreadsheet import to change a user's email address, it's important to remember that each time a new email address is added to the spreadsheet import, it will create a new profile and disable the profile associated with the previous email address. To avoid this, we suggest using the employee ID column in the spreadsheet import. This way, we can identify users based on the employee ID instead of the email address, which will prevent the creation of multiple accounts. If you have a case of duplicate accounts, please contact support@recognizeapp.com with the user's name, original email address, and the new email address that you would like the original account information to be merged into, and we will merge the accounts for you.